Hi everybody, welcome to Xianxia DnD. I am Casey, the Dungeon Master for this motley crew. So just as an introduction, because we are now in Season 2 of our Garage Band Dungeons & Dragons stream, we are streaming a Dungeons & Dragons homebrew campaign based on East Asian mythology and history and culture, based on the wuxia and xianxia genre. And yes, Wedin, welcome, our loyal viewer, and and it was incredibly well timed because we are all just about to start. Just to give everyone a quick roundup of what has happened so far. The group, this is season 2. So what happened in season 1 is that the group had actually gotten into some shenanigans in the historical city of Xiangyang, and they had discovered that they are somehow embroiled in the plots of a cult of a fire god, and this fire god is possibly hostile to the world, possibly ambivalent to the world, but it's basically a mystery that the group is going to investigate. However, this particular story arc is now taking them outside of the ambit of Xiangyang, and they are about to travel. But today is dun 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 the zombie special.
My video again isn't on the stream for some reason. I don't know why. It's not a big deal.
Okay, it's on already. The zombie.
Oh, there I am.
Yes. So today is the Jiangshi special, and today we are hopefully going to be able to channel some Chinese zombie, 80s Hong Kong movie vibes, and just also to announce to people, maybe I should put creepy face off until I need it again. Okay, creepy face off. One of our players, Shao, does some work for Pathfinder, and he has actually recently just published 2 monsters, which are coincidentally Jiangshi, which are Chinese zombies. So in the spirit of celebrating the good work of one of our players, right? We are going all in, and today will be the Hoppity, yes, the Hoppity Hop Jiangshi, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Now I've rambled on long enough for the intro. Let's introduce our cast, starting down the row on the right lah. Richard, you start, and then we end with Shao.
Sure, no problems. Hi everyone, my name is Richard. I am playing Elven Bladesinger, and currently we are all level 5, and he is a member of a Wudang disciple. So off to adventure. Nic.
Hi, I am Nick. I'm playing Amu. Amu is functionally a paladin, but he's more of a wandering local hero type, trying to discover more about his past. Go around smiting enemies.
Yep, smiting dragons as well.
Smite. Yeah lor, he just eradicated my dragon in 1 round. So angry.
I did smite very well though. So.
Yeah, smite for you.
Shao
smite
next.
for you.
It's Renzus next, Renzus.
Oh,
I'm right here, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Yes, hello, I'm Renzus, and I'm playing Wudang, a former bandit, on a path to redemption. Mostly through hitting things. Very hard.
Redemption through beatings.
Yes.
That sounds like your martial name. Redemption through violence.
Yes.
One of those Q6 billion demon style comic name character names.
I think Slay the Spire, the monk, actually has a card that says
Reach heaven through
it's a it's Reach Heaven Through Violence. It's a great card.
Wait, hang on. You mean there are other ways to reach heaven? What? That is a revelation to me.
There's also a lot of violence, a little violence, moderate violence.
But that's just violence by degrees, what? Anyway, Shao, intro.
Hi, hello, I'm Shao. I'm playing Cang Tian. I'm playing a monk who has been investigating mysterious crimes, both supernatural and terrestrial, within this countryside and the city. And pretty much in combat, he spends a lot of time basically trying to kind of like manipulate enemies so that Nick and Amu can turn them into freshly sliced yusen and other delightful things. Yeah, and out of combat, he mostly spends a lot of time going around collecting clues that he then goes back, gives to Richard like, "Hey, how ah?" Richard rolled the intelligence. Then finally, I'm linked over to Renzus' monk because I was the one who introduced him to the path of redemption. The violence, I think Renzus brought it himself. He's a kind of a BYOV kind of guy.
Yes.
So
Very
that's my
much so.
connection to everyone in this game so far.
Hey, Talent Raven, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. And with that, right, we're gonna start. We're gonna go straight into the scene for.
Oh, we have a new follow?
Yeah, we do.
Nice.
Yeah. I can see it on my dashboard lah. I mean, I don't know whether you can see it on the dashboard. I can certainly see it on my dashboard.
Talent Raven, right?
Yeah, Talent Raven 2018.
Yeah, that would be Zach, I think.
That would make you really, really young, right? 2018. Like that would make you like 5 years old.
3. We are 2021.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. You're 3 years old. Well done.
We know who he is, and he's definitely not 3 years old.
Okay. Anyway, so the intro of the game is as okay. Your dreams. You have spent the last 3 months healing the injuries of the spider spirits. Through a combination of the regimen that you had, through the pouring of the sacred flame into the meridians of the spiders, through repeated exercise and martial training, through sparring, through nourishing their chi with the ambient power that was in the cave of the water spirit. During your days off, you spend them at the Fragrant Blossom Tea House. The Fragrant Blossom Tea House where you first started your adventure off. Home of Thousand Hand Lee and his 7 adopted children. Now currently home of Pocky Rong, the former head of the Smugglers Association, critically injured in a battle against the spider spirits. And finally, you spend an off day, and 3 of Thousand Hand Lee's children are deep in practice. But that is the day. The night is the thing that disturbs you. For last night, you all had a dream. You dreamt. You recalled the memories of the fire god Zhurong. You relived that memory. But something has changed. You relived the memory of Zhurong as a mortal, starting a fire, fending off a snowstorm even as his tribesmen were frozen solid. And him starting the fire too late. You hear the voice. Life and death is but heaven's will. And you hear a voice in the background going, "No, this can't be! This can't be!" The scene shifts. And you see Zhurong kneeling before heavens, the Jade Emperor in heaven. Whereupon he pronounced the death sentence on a mortal for daring to steal the immortal clay to dam the floods. And you hear his voice, his sonorous, roaring, burning voice, you hear him say, Jade Emperor, let me go down to the mortal realm. Let me fix this. Let me erase the mistakes of my descendants. To which the Jade Emperor says, it will be permitted, but you will not be allowed back in heaven until you serve your penitence. It is heaven's will. And then it shifts to the third scene. Whereupon, Zhurong stands victorious on his mortal foe, the primal serpent causing the flood. Gong Gong. The primal serpent causing the flood. They lies dead before his feet, driven into the ground by Zhurong's immortal burning fire. But Zhurong turns and sees the consequences of his fight. The fight which he needed to force to Gong Gong because a mortal strayed upon the scene. He turns around and sees the cracked pillar of heaven. As he looks resignedly at it, he says, I am prepared to receive my punishment. And with that, all around you is darkness, and you hear a heartbeat pulsing in the background, and you hear, I spit on heaven's will. That was your dream last night. This morning, you see the two children of Thousand Hand Li, Xiao, the young dwarf boy which you rescued, practicing the deep-rooted stances that Pokirong is teaching him. Flanked on his left is his eldest sister. His eldest sister, I got to try and remember the name.
Oh no, Hates is reaching NPC critical mass.
Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I remember. Her name, she is a tiefling. No, sorry, a half-orc. Small
Half-orc,
task.
right?
Yeah, half-orc, small task. If I remember correctly, is Yu Mei. That's correct. The Jade Blossom. The Jade Plum. Yu Mei is also in the deep stance, and she's throwing out punches repeatedly. And beside her is the green-skinned young boy that you rescued from the 10,000 Swords Manor. And the green-skinned young boy, his name, Wu Hui, no regrets, is punching and punching. And just as Xiao reaches in and starts pushing with the faint inkling of internal energy that he's cultivating, the faintest sliver, you feel something. You see a black vein develop from his aorta. Sorry, from his jugular all the way down to his arm. As he punches out, and he gasps and he collapses to the floor as the floor around him just shrivels. The grass, all forms of life just shrivel around him.
This is
And
Wu Hui, right?
no, this is Xiaoxiang. And Wu
Walao.
Hui runs towards him.
Xiao Xiang is like Will Byers from Australia. All the bad things happen to him.
Xiaoxiang, yeah, because Thousand Hand Li ma, Sui ma. Remember? He runs over to him and he pats him on the, and you see the vein just pulse and disappears as Xiaoxiang, as something from Wu Hui's, a scent of jasmine and chrysanthemums fills the air. As Wu Hui seems to be pushing against an invisible force. What are y'all doing?
I am moving straight to Xiaoxiang. Without a word.
Yeah, I'll walk up behind. I'll walk up behind Yifan. Not as hurriedly.
Okay, you run towards Xiaoxiang. Is this the correct? This doesn't look like the correct one for you, but let's.
It's okay.
Okay, never mind. We run towards Xiaoxiang, and so does Thousand Hand Li. Pocky Rong wheels his wheelchair forward as fast as he can with his thick, muscular arms. Some color seems to have come back to his face since his trials. As you watch as Wu Hui pushes against it, and the black vein just vanishes. And Xiaoxiang plants his head.
I will try to identify what's wrong with him by putting my hand on the wrist of Xiaoxiang.
You reach the wrist, right, and you try to reach down into the deepest pulse that you can. For those of you who don't know Chinese medicine, apparently there are 7 different pulses that you're supposed to be able to feel. I've never been able to feel more than one, but then again, I'm not a TCM practitioner. So you feel the deepest pulse that you can. Make me a medicine roll.
Okay. It's a 14.
Okay. It's pretty obvious what has happened. He's manifesting 玄冥 真气. Part of the poison that he has gone through, because it has pervaded so long, it has actually become part of his internal energy structure. You also sense a second pulse coming from Wu Hui. Wu Hui seems to be merging his pulse to Xiaoxiang's and regulating it using his own internal energy, which is an incredibly sophisticated technique for a 3-year-old boy.
Okay.
You're not sure you would be able to do it.
I could use my Tai Wu Xing to regulate it.
Yes, you can.
I won't be able to do it at his age, but I could use Tai Wu Xing to regulate it for the time being.
Nothing has gone. With Wu Hui's intervention, the nether energy that is pervading his system right now goes onto the reset, but it's still part of him. And Thousand Hand Li goes, what happened to my boy? What happened to my boy? Help him!
I gesture to him. I gesture to Thousand Hand Li and say, if there is some residue of the 玄冥 poison that is left within him, it will be part of him for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, it actually means that there are certain martial arts that he cannot practice.
Pocky Rong says that is entirely true. The Hong family fist that I teach is a fist that trains from the external to the internal. You cultivate, that is true, and you will get the energy, that is true, but you don't learn to regulate it until the far advanced stages, and by then, he's either going to kill everyone around him or himself.
That is correct. He has to... practice the martial arts that starts from internal cultivation, where the internal chi is you practice the inner chi before you practice the styles. There are several martial arts that work that way. Tai Chi is one of them. I can teach Xianxiang that, and that help him regulate his internal chi. However,
Xiaoxiang says, I don't want to leave this place. Is there something else you can do? Help me with? Papa! He goes up to his papa and basically clings onto his leg. And Wu Hui says, I can help him.
yes, you can, but you will not be. Will you be spending the rest of your life with him?
I don't know.
I'm sure that there are other martial. I look at all of the martial artists or cultivators there and said, all of you are external external cultivators, if I'm not wrong.
Porky Rong says, Thousand Hand D is not a cultivator at all. I am. But you're right. I learn external style.
Unless, of course, there is another person that might be able to teach you that is around here. And it might be suitable for Xiaoxiang, but the martial art or the cultivation is deemed evil by most.
Which one are you talking about?
What the spiders are practicing.
He thinks for a while and he says, he looks at Thousand Hand Lee and says, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't wanna go. Please, Papa, don't make me go. Hi, Sheena. Yeah, so just to reset, the group is now trying to figure out what to do with Xiaoxiang, because while practicing an external style, he had manifested a very deeply poisonous internal energy. And it's the residue of his rescue. It's not going to affect his life, but it is going to affect his cultivation. Anyway, yes, I know. Enjoy your session.
Well, I think that I may be able to see whether I can help with some matters here. How long has the time skip been? It's like a few weeks.
It's been 3 months.
3 months, right?
Yep. The spiders, okay, so I'm going to progress to the spiders to let you all have perhaps a more complete view of the situation, so that you all, just to let you all have it. I know that I'm kind of dropping it, but let me just...
What's the name of the girl again? The other child, the daughter?
Yu Mei. Yeah.
It's a tiefling, isn't it?
She is not. She's a half-orc.
Okay.
Also, you remember that during the fight, Yu Mei also manifested a very strong internal energy.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus
the tiefling is called Ziyi.
Ziyi.
Xiaoxiang is a what?
Xiaoxiang is a dwarf child, maybe about 3. Hard to tell.
Okay.
about the same age as Wu Hui.
And Lady Chu, because you know, because all martial artists are drama queens, right? Lands on the rooftop.
She's here.
She says, "It is entirely true what benefactor Yifan has said. Welcome, I say. I bid my welcome, heroes."
I bow towards Lady Zhu and say, yes. What is the nature of your visit?
Shh, there is something going on in the temples, but I could not help but to overhear your situation here. The situation up in the temple will hold for now. Mingxie, Jingchan, and Gongsun are both taking care of the situation. Let's deal with this one first.
I'm assuming that's the other spiders.
Those are the other 3 spiders. You didn't know what their names were because they were previously spiders, but over the past 3 months, they had been able to cultivate back into human form.
Okay.
He goes to the
Mingxie, Jingchan, and what's the last one?
Gongsun.
Gongsun.
She walks towards the child and says, "With your permission, Master Li." Their attitude seems to have improved quite significantly from the last time that you spoke to them.
Yeah.
The spoders.
Help being healed and being able to maintain human form helps.
She goes in and touches the poison, right? The pulse of Xiaoxiang, right? And she says, "Benefactor Yifan, you are indeed astute. There is a way to save this child. He has to learn what we learn. The philosophy of the 1,000 spider palm is a poison that surpasses all others. It is the predator's art. You take one poison that is more poisonous than the others, and you sublimate all under it. The nether poison, although I've never encountered something like this, seems to fulfill that criteria."
Or not.
Suddenly, I'm thinking of how the little kids in this inn will eventually grow up into their own offshoot storyline.
Yes, entirely so. I've actually designed it that way. I
Like-
wanted to kind of like already see the second generation here. I'm thinking why fractal storytelling.
I look at Zhu Rong and I look at Zhu Rong and Master Li, and I tell them there are several ways. You don't have to practice the 1,000 poison palm.
It is.
But the effect will still be the same. He needs an internal martial art to develop before his external martial arts.
She 1,000 Henley nods. Is. And Pocky Rong says, Lady Zhu walks towards Pocky Rong, and Pocky Rong, it looks like he's clenching his jaw strong, and he's like tense, and she gets onto her knees and says, "I beg forgiveness for your injuries. I know there is nothing I can do make up for it. But I can help this child, your godson. The issue with the Wudang style is that I'm not entirely sure whether circulating the chi before he is ready will cause him even more injury. Whereas my style, while unorthodox, offers him the best chance of survival. Make me a medicine roll, Rich.
Okay, my medicine is horrible, by the way.
Make me an alchemy roll.
Oh, okay. Medicine roll is 15, by the way.
Okay, good enough. What he's saying is somewhat true. What she's saying is somewhat true. If she's practicing Tai Chi, even in an internal style, you don't entirely know what the effect is going to be. So what she's saying is not entirely untrue. You're in uncharted territory here.
Of course. I understand that, and I do not interrupt her at all. And I let Zhuo Rong and Poki Rong and Master Li make the decide, or Thousand Hand Li decide. I'm not going to force them into a decision.
Okirong says this. If you harm this child, there will be words between us. If I will, even without my legs, I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth and beyond. If you kill me, my ghost will haunt you to the ends of the earth and beyond. Do you understand me?
I look at Lady. I look at what's her name? Lady Chu.
Lady Chu.
Yes.
Yeah, and say, yep, his ghost will annoy you to death.
Dad, you know what, that bloody hell. He says, I fully understand that, and I accept your terms. We will be down every day in the morning after your chores, young one, to train you. And Xiaoxiang says, does that mean I can stay here? Xiaoxiang says, and she says, yes, it does. And Lady Chu says, may I speak with the four of you?
No.
By the way, you have not raised the issue with Wu Hui either. Just to remind you.
Yeah. Because Wu Hui said something and then we didn't develop that.
Yeah, correct. But Lady Chu doesn't know it, so I'm just reminding you.
Before I gestured to Lady Chu and I move towards Wu Hui. And I tell Wu Hui, with Lady Chu here, I think you will need to do what you have done.
Won't need to what? Answer. Sorry. You don't need to what, Rich?
You do not need to continuously support Xiaoxiang.
Wu Hui nods, and she said, and he says, if I can, I wish to stay here too.
I know. And I go, I have scribed I have written down your family martial art, and I will pass it to you. Be diligent and learn it. I have also incorporated some notes that will help you develop it based on your physique and your physique alone. Do not teach anyone. And when I'm back, I will see how far you have progressed.
Are you going away?
I believe we will be heading on a journey soon.
Lady Chu cocks her head and she smiles a very sly smile. But she says nothing. And Chu and Pocky Rong says, "You're leaving already?" Walao eh, we just got here, you know.
There are certain things that we need to do, and Amu needs to do, and I believe we
You know,
will need to
he
travel.
glances at Amu. Amu is damn bloody problematic, you know. Always. What the hell, man? You the reincarnation of Thousand and Li or what? Basket. Sway until cannot sway anymore, no?
Certain
Thousand and Li just chuckles.
people living in this living in the pugilistic world, you cannot live a life that you want but
Oh,
only
人
live
在
a
江
life
湖
that
身
you-
不由己
身
is
不由
it?
己 yeah, only live a life that you are given.
I tell you, okay, no worries. This place, I bow. Lady Chu says, the place is yours. We are responsible for the child, as spoken. No problem.
Turn towards Lady Chu as we as
Okay, so you all start.
walking off.
Yeah.
Can I speak to Lady Su for what?
Sure. No, Lady Chu wants to talk to all of you actually.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
true.
So we I believe this is the walk as we talk.
Yep. Yep. And Lady Chu seems to be walking towards the temple, the place where the lot of you have been basically holed up for the last 3 months. And she says, we have a slight problem over there. Somebody has turned up. I think you should come over and see this. And she turns over to Cang Tian and she says, you wanted to speak to me?
Yes. I think it is not as pressing as whatever you seem to want to show us. But perhaps a more convenient time after this?
There may not be a more convenient time after this. Let's talk along the way.
Alright.
You will understand when you see what is up there. She chuckles to herself.
This place has been surrounded by all manners of unclean energy. I will not be surprised if things require our intervention soon, huh?
We can only do what we can. We are cleansing out the place, you know, as the way you have taught us through the doctrine of the Peacock King.
Yes, and actually that is what I wish to speak with you about. I understand that you have lost your battle. Sorry, I have two ideas that I wish to speak with you about. The first is about your experiences with the Fire Lord and his forces.
Yes.
The injuries took something from you, did they not?
In a manner of speaking, it wasn't taken as much as it was burnt away. And it wasn't the Fire Lord per se. It was a man. The leader of the
Fire cult, yes.
Correct. He wielded a form of flame that was painful, burnt all the way down to the soul.
I mentioned, on the bright side, if it was a man, he can be defeated. I don't feel the same way about fighting a god.
You should best be careful. Lord Mu, you should be careful what you wish for. The man is uncommonly gifted. Burns with the fire of a zealot.
But he's a man.
What are gods but former men.
Hmm.
So
Amu
he
is doing his steel is lighter than feathers. Steel is heavier than feathers. Look.
has-
Yes. Yes, Walk of the Skies.
so he I'm thinking that you got a good look at his face, and so that's why they wanted to hunt you down. Yes.
That is correct. The man, I can provide you with a description of him.
All right, that'll be helpful.
You cannot
Did you-
you cannot mistake him. He has an affliction on him.
All right.
He carries the pox rot by which people lose body parts over time.
I see. The image of King of Heaven, right? The Saracen king.
Mhm.
The
Yeah. The golden mask, complete with the golden mask.
It's like we're playing Darkest Dungeon, the leper.
Yes.
Miss. Then okay, so then I say,
Dong.
yeah, the put the chest out like what you want.
Yes.
So I say your wounds, and that of your friends and kinsfolk, there was a certain lack of ability for your side to heal them. Yes.
That is correct.
So, and you know how people tend to do things according to certain habits that they have. If this person has nothing personal against you but simply wishes to kill you because you saw him, he's likely to do the same to everyone else. Yes.
That is entirely correct. We believe that we are the only ones that have ever survived a confrontation with him.
So, and you are familiar with the arts of Gu, right? Of venom.
Of course, we are masters of it.
So I have a little suggestion for you. Then Cang Tian basically kind of like says like takes out like a calligraphy scroll, and then on site is basically sort of like something is written there, passes it to Lady Tzu. So it then Cang Tian says, the rest of my ideas are here, but if those wounds cause chi to be burnt in a particular way and to fester in a particular way, and you are the only people we know who have survived these wounds, and you're still recovering from them, if you can study the nature of these wounds, then the scroll in the rest of it is a description of the detect poison and disease scroll of the spell. It says if we use this spell to look exactly for this kind of injuries, we can find people who might have been wounded or marked by them. The enemy of our enemy, as we have seen from the last time we had our conclave, could very well become friends.
I will annotate this, and as soon as I can, I will send it to you via carrier pigeon.
Yes, because right now you have survived, and that means something. The second thing is, if you find yourself developing any strange urges for fiery magic or power like that is a bit like his, do let me know if that is an experience among you and your companions.
I'm going to be honest with you, since you have been nothing but kind to us. We haven't healed per se. Instead, what had happened with benefactor Yifan was that he had replaced our burnt parts of our soul with something else.
I see. I have some experience with fighting zealots, and there's something that a lot of them tend to do. They tend to kill and wound. Those that is scar, they leave them and they may come back to recruit them in the future. I'm not speaking of you personally, of course, but do look out for those who have been wounded as well. These zealots may be creating weaknesses in different societies so that they can harvest them as expendable soldiers.
That may very well be true. If that's the case, then We will devote our time to study this. She thinks for a while and she says, Gong Sun is the most proficient at the arts of Gu among the four of us. His knowledge is unrivaled. We will have him work on it.
Then I kind of pass her a bit, and this is a gift for all of you, from one fellow ghoul practitioner to another. And I pass her a pot of alcohol.
She raises her hand and says, "We cannot."
Very well. Then later he puts it on his back, and then I say, "All right, that's all I have to say for now."
Thank you. Now, come up with me a very strange situation has started.
As we continue walking, I walk up to Lady Zhu, and kind of under the breath and talk to her and say, I hope you could do me a small favor.
And what is that?
I would like you to take care of two members of the younger generation in the Li household.
You mean Xiaoxiang and Wu Hui?
Wu Hui. Yes.
Done. It is done. We owe the favor not to you, but to Master Rong. As for Wu Hui, it is not our place to guard him, but we will do what we can. He already has a guardian, in case you haven't noticed.
Yes, he has. And
that is the reason why I am here, because a situation has happened with his guardian.
Okay.
Okay.
And in the background, as if on cue, you hear.
Okay. I look at the direction where I will expect
That's exactly where it's coming from.
Dire wolf.
We best go before a fight breaks out.
Okay.
Okay, and we're moving on to the next scene. As I go back to all of the maps that I have built and expose my slight embarrassment at some of them. Okay. You see.
This place.
You see this scene. Ming Xie, Gong Sun, and Jin Chan are basically standing in between what looks like a group of they're in official they're in government official clothes, but they smell and their skin is off color and they are all hopping on the spot. And as you get closer, you realize that they are Jiangshi. And let me put on my filter now.
These are the other spiders, right?
Yep. These are the human forms of the other spiders. There's Ming Xie. This one's Ming Xie, the one that looks like a tiefling. Gong Sun is this one. And this one is Jing Chan.
Okay.
So yeah, they actually, this is an interesting point, right? They can hop in broad daylight if the sky is overcast enough. It's direct sunlight that they have an issue with, and even then direct sunlight doesn't kill them. It actually makes them stronger. So it's actually not a really good idea for them to be hopping around in dark. They tend to go in shady places.
Mhm.
Okay, and let me just turn on some music for this.
The zombie master brings them into dark places.
Wait, the spider spirits are there. So who are these zombies?
Sorry,
Don't know.
you don't know.
You
And
don't know who the Xianxia are lah.
you don't know who the Xianxia are, but you do see two things, right? You see Doggy, you see Coco in the background,
Okay.
and you see an old friend of yours. Well, I'm using a different meaning.
Yeah.
And you see, hey, look, it's those guys!
I look
白草仙
at the people in the government. I look at the Jiangsu in the government garb, and my hand instinctively heads towards my sword. You know, for defense purposes,
Alright,
or my spear in this case.
and just to change the filter a bit, because they are led by a lady that looks somewhat
Lady Ma, how are you, Lady Ma?
Lady Ma.
that looks like this. Half of her face looks pale and almost ashen, but her other half of the face is human. She says, Ho! I do not mean any harm here. We're just trying to stay the night.
Oh, okay.
And you hear Coco, Doggy, going.
Are Jiangsu a common legend?
Oh yeah, they are very common.
So the general populace knows of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know of them as like essentially the logistic services for transporting corpses? Like,
You'll have to make a knowledge religion roll for that.
okay. So what?
Can- I'll do 1 2 then.
Let me go. Actually, I would like to ask about the lady. Can I make an Arcana check or something to understand?
Yes, you
like,
can.
her face?
Does history help?
It'll give you a different set of knowledges. So if you want to roll history, that's fine. You roll religion, that's fine.
I'll do history instead then.
Okay, make a roll history roll.
22.
Okay. I got
And
a
just
20 for
to
Arcana.
kind of set the thing, I do need to kind of make sure it's that's the correct lighting.
Ah, I see. Good.
Okay. Oh, this Talespire thing is really very good.
I know, right? And I now have Snapcam to go and put filters on my face also, so I can super roleplay now. This is what the Singaporeans will say, "Shok sendiri."
Yes.
He own self.
Yeah, own self shok only. Renzus,
Yes.
can you make a perception roll? Only you.
Perception. I have a. Okay, the dice fell looks like it falls on 13, but the thing registers it as a 1. So okay, I guess I rolled 1.
Okay, never mind then. We'll do it later. We'll do it again later. Okay. Unfortunate. Hey, you typical barbarian rolling, are you?
Yeah.
Non-combat cannot roll one. So the what it looks like is Coco running there, and you see Bai Cao Xian, right? I'm using a different using a shambling mount token now.
He upgraded.
Yeah, he looks a little bit more rooty. He looks like he's got more tendrils growing from him. His hair looks like he looks like he's grown moss. For those of you who haven't tuned in before, Bai Cao Xian is this ancient ginseng spirit, right? That has taken the body of basically a shambling root that goes around. And in the early adventures, right, Bai Cao Xian was actually adventuring together with them. Yeah. So Bai Cao Xian goes, hey, look, it's those guys! It's those guys over there! Hey, we're over here! And Coco is going he's snarling at the zombies, the Jiangshi over here. And what are your history rolls? Sorry?
22.
Okay.
20 for Arcana. Yeah.
You know the purpose of this. This is called 赶尸. 赶尸 is basically chasing the corpses, right? And it's basically a practice by which corpses are transported for people who have died far away from their homeland back to their homeland. Okay. Knowledge religion. Who wrote knowledge?
I wrote 19.
Okay. Knowledge religion will give you the same information. It also gives you one. The lady is she's dressed in Taoist robes, but it's a specific form of Taoism that is different from yours. This is the older, more primal, more ancient form of Taoism that is associated with Maoshan, which is basically this kind of stuff like necromancy, the binding of spirits, and all of that.
As opposed to the
esoteric,
universal,
like universal
transfer.
Transference of one giant watermelon, that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Yes. So I gotta say.
Knowledge Arcana. Wait, one more thing. Shao, did you make a knowledge Arcana roll?
I got a 20.
Got it. The person, the lady, the lady with the yeah, the lady in the Maoshan robes, right? She's showing signs of being. This is extremely rare. But she's showing signs of being a half Jiangshi. What would effectively be think of as a Dampier.
Yeah.
She's a half Jiangshi in that she was born as her mother was being turned into a Jiangshi.
Understand. Okay.
Yeah, all the 80s tropes, every single one of them I'm taking out now. Take and throw.
She's
I
blade.
would like to find associate her as my sworn younger brother, so she can be vampire hunter Artie. Okay, never mind.
Oh gosh.
Total breathing technique.
Yeah.
Total concentration breathing. Sorry.
Okay. We can also harmon total concentration breathing to have extra breath.
Mm.
Alright. Okay. Got it.
So no, please stop. Please. We don't mean any harm. We're just trying to get these young men back home. All right? That's all.
What seems to be the? Yeah, look at the lady too. Is this the problem, or is this something else?
The problem. Sorry, I need to swap between my filters. Lady Chu says. The problem is that Gogo doesn't like these things,
I see.
and we're trying to stop a fight from breaking out.
Is there a reason why they're dressed like government officials?
It's a funeral, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people dress up in funerals here, right?
It's a funeral, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a bit sad. It's like you can't ever get promoted in life, so you when you die, you hope to get promoted. I think that's how it goes.
It's like, the same reason why in Singapore today they will burn you, paper Mercedes, paper mansion, cause hyperinflation in hell, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like it's very important for the. It's kind of like the final. It's the final set of clothes you have, so might as well spend money on it, huh? I think that's the mindset.
Okay.
Okay, so
And between them, right, Mingxie is basically holding his arms out at the two of them, right? And you sense that he's actually starting to circulate his chi already. He doesn't want to fight, but he's ready to basically break it up with violence. Whereas Mingxie Gong Sun and Jing Chan, right, are just basically trying to calm the other two down with diplomacy, and you see them squatting down and talking to they're basically going face to face with them. It's like standard procedure for breaking up bar fight, right? One guy go and stick to one guy stick to the other guy, and the other guy is like, scolding, and the other guy's like, I don't know, I'm above all of this, Okay, so what are you guys doing?
I move towards Coco.
You move towards Coco?
Yeah, I will go to Yifan, and I'll go to Amu and Kukan to basically say some random bullshit later. So I let Yifan have a serious talk while I do bullshit talk. Time to give more twist upbringing to Amu.
Oh no!
Steady. Okay, Ifan, what are you saying? To Coco is oh darn it, what happened? Coco is not happy. He's snarling, right, and his the spirit crystal on his forehead is just blazing with a white light.
I walk towards Coco. Calm down. They are only travelers.
You've never seen Coco this feral before.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
and
completely understand. They are unnatural, and he's all about his whole nature thing, right?
yep. And Bai Tao Xian says, hey, there's something that you should know about Coco. He pulls in and says,
I lean towards Bai Tao.
so you know who his mother was, right?
Who? What you mean? Wu Hui?
No.
Oh,
Coco's.
No, I don't.
You see, there's this three-eyed god in heaven,
Oh my god!
and he has a pet dog.
So the pet dog is Coco's mother.
Yeah. He had a litter sometime. I mean, you hear of these dalliances with cow herders and weaving maids, right? But nobody ever talks about the animals in heaven, right? But apparently the animals in heaven also have their own, needs, right? Sometimes they go to KTVs and stuff.
Oh,
Ow. I was like, so celestial versus necromantic. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, so she's really, really upset now. And to be frank, this place is not exactly great for them to be staying overnight either. There's still a strong, despite all the cleansing effort that we've been doing and the spiders have been doing, there's still a strong aura of resentment here. I'm like, oh, by the way, he puts his Bai Cao Xian puts his hands on there. Nice job leaving me in Wudang. What the hell, man? You know how long it took for me to get back here or not?
But you were fascinated by the food.
Yeah, okay lah, fair lah. But still, you left me down there and I had to go and hide from that stupid eunuch,
We have to hide from the stupid eunuch as well, so...
Yeah, but you left me there!
Well, it looks like you have gained new powers.
Okay lah, not too bad lah. I mean,
I believe your cultivation has increased.
Yeah lah, kind of lah. I mean, I did have a good time at the Dragon Well lah, let's just put it that way.
I was about to say thanks to the Dragon Well as well. But I think that should be compensation enough.
Okay lah. Don't angry with you lah. I mean, we got a problem down here lah. Let Coco just stop it lah. I mean, I get the idea.
Let me try to handle this. I walk over towards the Wizard, the Taoist.
Okay. As you're walking towards the Taoist, right, make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of you down here, the rest of you sorry, the Cang Tian is starting to do the miseducation of Lauren Hill.
Yeah. I need to do that. If we're using inspiration points, that's how I recharge my inspiration all the time.
Okay, you damn chibai lah, but okay. You do that portion, but make a perception roll. All of those who are down here, your DC is slightly higher than Ifan, who is closer to the situation.
Doesn't matter, my perception. I roll a 1, so +3 is 4.
So the rest of us roll as well?
Yeah.
The rest of your roll as well, but your DC is higher.
Okay. I got an 11. I don't think I see anything.
Perception.
And Kukang as well.
Yeah, one more time.
One more
I'm
time.
12.
I got 14.
Okay. Kukang, the rest of you don't see this, only Kukang sees this. Okay? The zombies, right, are bound with scarlet thread. And there's a single string of scarlet that's bound on each person's wrist that goes through all of them, and they're kind of hopping along in formation because of the scarlet wrist, right? Two things you notice. On this guy,
Okay.
this guy,
Front right relative to us.
yeah, front right relative to you all, the loop appears to be slipping from his wrist.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, this guy here, his face is already rotted beyond recognition, right? But he bears the tattoo, a tattoo that you recognize. It is the tattoo of your former bandit gang.
I see.
He's one of the mountain dogs, or used to be one of the mountain dogs, but you can't tell which one.
Yes. Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, and his face is like rotted away, so you like can't really tell.
Nameless mountain dog.
You could be named, you just can't recognize him.
Yeah, lor.
Could I swap my bullshit at Amu now?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Tang.
Okay. So it's like, I just like, this is from my City Watch investigator background. I say like, you know, like because these are so creepy and scary, it's not unknown for criminals to actually disguise themselves as gangster and move around at night, because nobody will want to see too closely, right? Especially if you see this at night. So I guess it's like, you know, if you're scared of ghosts when you see them, then hope they're criminals instead. But if you're scared of criminals, then hope to see ghosts. They are pet Amu on the back.
I look at him and criminals or ghosts at this point, we probably have to fight, right?
Well, if they are lawful ghosts, then I don't think we're gonna fight. Let's hope they are legal ghosts then.
Oi, don't like that, oi, don't like that, leh.
Are your ghosts authorized?
I'm going to make a common sense check for
Do you have a license for those for this bandit?
wisdom saving throw. I look at Cang Tian and I say, sometimes I really don't know whether you're pulling my leg.
I would this, and then Cang Tian does in the same way that the emperor thinks like, I would never in all my life think of doing something else.
No, I would never.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just used in a presentation today. A couple of days back for work.
Okay.
What?
Anyway, I will talk towards stories, please.
And the lady, okay, let me put my snap filter back on. She says, "Hey, sir, kind sir, is there a way that you can stop that wolf from attacking my clients?"
There is a way, and it is to leave this forest.
Amu's going to shout out and interrupt them at this point. Yifan, I don't know whether you've realized it, but Coco's instincts tend to be right, and he has saved us on more than one occasion.
Yes,
Just
I know,
saying.
and I just found out his background, so
Would this be helpful to you if I could just excuse me, authority of the undead, like Shang Tian says. Would you require help with perhaps digging some temporary shelter in the earth for a while?
Yes, I mean, the reason we are here is because it's getting dark and I can't drive them around at night, especially tonight, where there's a full moon. I have to put them underground.
And that cave is not a good place. It's kind of cursed, and there's a lot of it may be hard for you to control your clients if they go in.
even more than going into the cave.
Oh,
I would suggest-
what's in the cave?
You
I
may
thought
be
this was.
entering into another web of this and
She says
badness.
this is a temple of Buddha. I mean,
Uh,
it's a well-known temple of Buddha. I mean, I was counting on using the benevolence of Guan Yin Ma. She says to try and suppress the instincts of my customers.
Let's just say it's not very well serviced by the temple authority.
Yeah, the temple is like it hasn't been updated in a long time. It's like if you look carefully at the Guan Yin Ma over there, you might notice that it's actually really more of an Ashura.
What?
It's like, somebody didn't update the yearly guide to all of China's temples, and so people are still walking around thinking like, it's a let me look at edition. Oh, this is the 55-year edition ago. You need a new almanac, lady.
It's like, ayah, see lah, you all use end-of-life software lah, never go and continue support services lah, are still using Windows 7 lah, then no wonder you all kena hack lah.
Hey,
Okay,
the army uses Windows 7, okay?
I know, that's exactly what I'm pointing at.
Well, the army is supposed to be a closed loop, but never mind.
It's supposed to be air gap lah, but it's like, whatever lah, they,
By left and by right lah.
yeah lah, by left and by right lah. They say, okay, now I have a problem. I need to get them into the ground in the next 2 hours, otherwise there's going to be bloodshed. Is there something that can I get some help from you all? And
I sigh and I start, and I look around and
I look at Coco.
You wouldn't
We
believe
are-
it.
I look at Coco. We are going to bury them. Okay, not put them in the cave. Will that be sufficient for you? I speak in Celestial, by the way.
Cang Tian kind of like just like coughs as this more happens, makes some hand gestures, and then a pile of dirt nearby excavates itself because he took a level in cleric and now he has moved up.
oh really? Seriously?
Yes, I also have ceremony. I actually came. I'm like, oh my god.
Well done. You came prepared. Okay.
Yeah, yes, because I came prepared to dig. I wanted to age lot and say I came here to dig your grave. Apparently, I can really do it.
Apparently, you literally are.
Yeah, I was just age lording, but I never knew what age lord would.
Hey, I actually thought you got level 5 in Monk. I was prepared for
No.
stunning strike spam today.
No, I took my
you
level
know
up.
what they say when you've got, like undead zombies after you, right? Dig 6 graves.
Yep, true.
Yeah, so Suedin, Ashura are these. So in line with Chinese cosmology, right, where they actually imported a hell of a lot of stuff from Vedic mythology, right? Ashura are kind of these like demigods that have like overly they think way too much of themselves, and they think they have abnormal appetites. They always want more than their fair share of things. That's kind of the way they look at it. They're greedy mofos lah.
Anyway,
Okay.
well,
So
I was like, I said, okay. I said, I turned towards Cang Tian. Could you help the master while I try to appease the wolf? And then I turned towards Gogo. I said, okay, they are not going into the temple. We are going to dig graves for them for the night, and then we'll ask them to leave tomorrow.
okay,
Because
Goku
I
didn't
look at-
used to be able to speak. Just to point out, Goku says growls to you in Celestial, and he says, "Tonight, no more."
I nod, and I go, you speak now. I was like, okay. Okay. Crisis averted. In my mind, crisis averted. And I walk back towards the
And Mingxie just literally, you see his shoulders sag, right? And he slumps against the tree over here, and he goes, "Damn it, man! I'm too old for this shit."
I will actually make a short detour towards
Mingxie,
Mingxie, and I'll go. I pat him on the shoulder. thank you for your assistance. As I walk back towards the rest, and I stare at Bai Chao Xian and gesture him to go
Yeah,
away.
Bai Chao Xian does this. he raises a thumb, or at least he raises a tendril, you know, the ginseng tendril.
Yeah.
Goes up to Kukang and says, "You know, I hate to say it, but in this particular scenario, it looks like all sorts of things can go wrong. And you know, when things can go wrong, things will go wrong.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. We could be not here, and then you know, there could be a celestial. There could be a battle of celestials and corpses, which would probably make the place even more cursed afterwards, right?
Means we're really going to be resting tonight, and instead we will have to be keeping watch. Well, okay.
No, you know, we never rest at this temple. Every time we go to this temple, it's always just like, you know,
That's-
events. We dig graves. You know, it's all kinds of things. That's why I tell you, the temple authorities fulfill a very important role.
How do you get the temple authorities to come and check this place more often?
Unfortunately, I think the temple authorities in this area must have been driven away by all the monsters here. Imagine this as your first job.
Jin
Yeah,
Chan pats Yifan on the shoulder and he says, "Thanks a lot for all this." And he says, "We are going to be back in the cave if you need us."
Okay.
Yeah.
I basically go to Kukang and I say, this is like old times, digging graves. It's like I found this neat trick that I've learned because, you know, I hate digging through frozen earth. I never thought it would come through today.
I wouldn't say much about digging graves. Back in the bandit days, they just left corpses on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then I roll my eyes and say, yes, of course, because when you dig graves, you just put stolen stuff in there, right?
I mean, like, it would be a lot more logical if we stole the things before we put them in the graves, right? I mean, I'm not a thief, but I'm just thinking that, you know, that looks like an easy way to do things. And I kind of like chant prayers, right? And then the earth begins to like kind of open up. And I say to the necromancer, like, would this suffice? Do you need me to make it extra tight to seal it up?
She says, "Tonight is a night of a full moon. If you have celestial prayers, they will definitely be welcome."
Okay. And so are they in the holes already?
I'm sorry? They are not in the holes yet.
So I make the holes and I say, please guide them in.
Ding, ding.
Huh. I just realized that Cang Tian has kind of created holy ground.
Holy ground.
Yeah, because I'm a holy man. That's why I make holes in the ground.
Okay, now all of you are close by. Please make me perception checks. Kukang, you already noticed it, right? This guy, the scarlet thread is slowly slipping away.
It's slipping away, yeah.
Okay, I got a 19.
Okay, you see it also. All of you see it. The scarlet thread is slowly slipping off one of them.
I pointed out to, hey lady,
And
is this going to be a problem?
I think never installed properly.
And she pauses for a while, and she says, "Oh, okay, sorry, wrong filter. I really need a hotkey for this.
Yeah, we need
A quick change, right?
Help Xianko, right? Guys, this is the Help Xianko quest, okay?
Yeah, this is the Help Xianko quest.
Yeah.
She runs over there, and she starts kind of pulling it around, right, and yanking it away, and she yanking it tighter, right? As she rings it, and all 6 of them go into the ground.
Okay.
So she did tighten it, lah.
Yeah.
Good lah. Go we tell her, you know.
Otherwise, you'll be like, everybody start rolling for initiative and then make lots of grapple checks to try and get it done. Okay lah. But that's okay.
Okay, then I would like to say some prayers to invite the Thousand Arm Canon, right? The Bodhisattva to release rain upon that particular patch. So rain kind of like starts to kind of like rain down on where the graves are, and then I use shape water afterwards, right? I can only use 2 non-instantaneous versions of shape water, so I freeze the ice, kind of like packing it, freeze the water over the grave, so it become like you know how when water goes into mud, right? Basically, kind of like the mass increases, so I kind of like just twist all the moisture out, freeze it there, and then try to kind of like keep it in frozen earth. And I said, those times Kugang digging graves on frozen mountains really left an impression on me. I like to repeat them this day.
So yeah, as a person who just recently had to bury a hamster on a rainy day, right? Yeah, I'm actually quite familiar with this process.
Yeah. So
I'm going to the toilet. I'll be back.
Okay, so I freeze the earth by using the rain. I can't use crane water to do that. Then I use shape water.
Okay.
Does
everyone want to go and take a toilet break for now?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I say rain, then everyone go toilet.
Hey, yeah. Yes, toilet break, please.
Okay, toilet break. So everybody, this is the beginning of the Ganshi arc. Everybody has been introduced to it. Jiangshi are a big feature of Hong Kong theatre back in the 80s, and you know Gordon Wong, Gordon Wong, who actually played Bai Mei in Kill Bill. The martial art master was actually a big star for all of this, for all the Mr. Vampire shows in there. So yeah, this is my tribute to him. Any fun stuff for everybody? Let's see. So everybody's off for a break. Again, yeah. So Edin, how's the law doing for you? I mean, you're the kind of I always kind of like treat you as the litmus test for whether some of this stuff has gone through and whether this stuff is interesting or not. Yeah. Funny that you should mention the Titans, you know. I mean, the Titan Marquee and stuff of those, some of those things are that is one of the eras of history that that I was kind of referencing, you know. It's like that when it comes to proto history, right? The myths of all the Battle of the Gods and all that, right? There is actually a Chinese equivalent to it. But it wasn't around a battle, it was all kind of the everything is flooding, what the hell do we do kind of thing, right? And some of the descriptions are actually quite freaky. So when I said Chthonic, right, it really was very kind of like the way they describe Zhu Rong in particular is like he has an upper body of a human being, but the body of 2 dragons. He's like a double dragon centaur, and like what the hell is that, right? So yeah, some of the stuff is like I'm kind of like scratching my head on how to visualize it. Yeah, no, there's a lot of lore. I mean, the idea of the poison in the sick child, right, is not strictly speaking a part of not strictly speaking a part of Chinese history, but it happens in wuxiao movies all the time. It's like, oh, you've healed him, but the poison is still coursing through him and all of that. You need to do something about it. It doesn't create a complete cure. It becomes part of his nature, you know, stuff like that. All these things all happen. Yeah, so I'm just kind of playing the tropes lah. Is everybody back?
Yeah.
Yep.
I am.
Okay, let me put on my game face.
Ace in drag makeup. What I did.
Shit. I'm Kiss Man. Beth, I hear you calling.
Hey, free karaoke, appreciate.
Quite ace,
Sorry?
Quite ace, if you his references there. We need a cat man as well. We need to invite the cat people back.
Okay, so the lady in the Taoist clothes, right? She says, "Oh, thank you so much for
You
your
never heard
help."
the name.
She hasn't told you her name.
Hey, so lady, what is your name?
Oh, I'm Shui Xian. I thank you for your help.
Sui Xian, is it?
Shui Xian, yeah. Thank you for your help. She kind of like slumps a bit dejectedly and says,
Have you eaten?
it's been a long day, so some food would be nice. Maybe I can start a fire. She snap and creates a campfire.
It was always burning since the wheel.
Great. Do you need some? There's some vegetables, rice, and bread.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. She says and says, to be honest with you, there are not many that would help one such as myself. I really appreciate it.
Don't you perform a vital service for the delivery of people back home?
I do, but I mean, look at me. I look like I almost look like some of my customers. And the customers are scary and intimidating enough. On the road, we can only count on ourselves. And to be honest with you, I haven't done this a lot.
Okay.
It's just that there isn't anyone else.
Do you need any help with? I happen to be. I take out my writing kit. Like I haven't really. I don't really know much about the things, but maybe I can just do some of the brute force work for you to prepare some scrolls, and you can do what's the thing? The fulu, is it? What is it?
That's correct. The fulu. You know how to draw one?
Then I say, I haven't been trained, so I think you might know better, but I can help you with the paper setting.
I can show you some.
Oh, okay, that'll be great.
She takes out a few, right? And she said, "This one is." She looks up at it. It's like, this one's for binding, and this one is for destruction, and this one is for I don't really know what this one's for. I only use these two actually. Yeah, these two.
Is it a style, by the way? Like, if someone wanted to play something like Lucian later on, do you have something written up?
It's a reskin necromancer.
Oh, okay.
A reskin wizard necromancer.
So it's necromancer with extra steps.
Yeah, it's basically a necromancer. She's basically, in game terms, she is a dumpier necromancer,
Okay.
but skinned in a different way. So with respect to the fulu and all of that, right, you guys will find out later that there are specific effects of fulu only on Xianxia.
It sounds like you're taking away their instant cast.
They're what?
Their instant cast abilities.
Am I taking it away? No, I'm not.
So you assume. Oh, so that's the way they prepare their spell.
Yep, that's exactly the way to prepare the spells.
Okay.
Yeah, and also there's enough movie depictions of Taoists, right, just biting their finger and then just waving their hands around and then boom, something happens, right? So that would be the Vancian things, right? But there's also knowledge, and there are also rituals, and there are also prep things that you can do.
Okay.
So like Cang Tian kind of excitedly motions for Kukang to come over. He's like, Kukang, the last time we were supposed to help you with learning how to improve your vocabulary, right? I wouldn't recommend that you begin practice with writing scrolls on vampiric foreheads, but on corpses' foreheads. But come, why don't you play around with some paper as well and get used to holding the brush? So I arrow Kukang to come over and do homework.
You know what? This is a holdover from 3.5 DE, right? back in the days when all barbarians were illiterate, right?
Yeah, you gotta spend 2 skill points back
Yeah,
then. Yeah, back in
yeah.
the day.
Okay, so you do, and Shui Xian says, thank you. I don't have much money to pay you with, and
Oh,
well, another confession, if you don't mind. These customers aren't exactly paying customers.
okay.
I'm just,
Are you doing it for exposure to the necromantic energy?
well, not exactly. I just kind of,
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't resist it. I don't say that.
I just kind of felt sorry for them. I mean, they've been around for such a long time, and
Where did you
nobody,
pick them up from?
down south, down in Xiamen.
Oh wow, that's really far.
Yes, I mean, they've been in the local mortuary in Xiamen for almost a year now. That's the reason why their bodies are so decomposed.
And all the seawater can't be doing them well, you know?
Yes, and well, all I know from the coroner's report is that they all have hometowns at or near Luoyang. So I just thought I needed to try to send them home at least.
Okay.
Yeah, except I just don't know if I can do it.
I'm sure you can. I mean, I don't want to sound like too morbid here, but you can see that the 4 of us, we actually have very different and dangerous lifestyles. And so, if you can't help us and pay us now, you can always repay the favor when we're dead and, bring us somewhere safe afterwards. Haha.
Sure. I mean, where you all from? I mean, I'll be sure to record it down and in my diary. And if I see you or I see the coroner's report, I will be sure to bring you back to your homelands. Where are you from?
For me, it's a bit hard. I think my people do practice cremation, so just cremate me and I'll be alright. Because I come from a far off land. But
Oh.
for the rest of the people, if for your souls to be in harmony, why not get the services of our good friend of our new friend Shui Xian? Yeah, look at Amu meaningfully. Like, hey kid.
Are you saying that we prepay so that things are better when we die?
Well, technically we already paid because we already helped, so we are just like getting a service anyway that we paid for. Like,
That sounds like some kind of a scam in the making.
it's like a tab, right, in the tea house.
I don't mean to scam you, good sir.
I don't mean you're scamming, but I think let's just say that Cang Tian seems to be trying to feed me false information occasionally, and this is one of them.
Would I do such a thing? Right, cool guy.
I would never do this. I would never do this.
I find the ex-bandit, like, look, we are but totally reliable people.
And she turns to Kugang and says, where are you from?
Kugan pauses and sort of definitely turns away, obviously, and tries to recall. And he says, "Oh, it's quite deep in the hinterlands. I don't expect anyone to have to go there. I'm not even sure the village I'm from is around anymore, to be honest."
She says, everyone deserves to go back home, even in death.
Home is on the road with friends like this. He like picks up Cang Tian and Amu in like one in each arm.
Okay, so I need to rearrange the two of you.
No. I'm curious. I'm looking at a map now. I can't find Xiang.
Xiamen is Fujian, no?
Xiamen is Fujian. It's all the way down south near the coast, right? It's almost it's almost near Hong Kong already. It's like maybe an hour and a half flight from Hong
Where
Kong.
the fucking Nang came from?
It's in
Dude,
Song territory.
It is. It's in Swamp territory, and you're going all the way up to Luoyang, which is almost to Beijing already.
Okay.
So she has traveled already half of China. Literally traveled months on the road, half of China already.
Yeah. So like I kind of like look at the shoes. What the shoes look like?
Her straw shoes are almost worn through. Her clothing has plenty of holes in them. The popo lan lan, you know, it's threadbare, it's worn. But there's still she still takes the trouble of trying to patch them together so they look somewhat presentable. She's still kind of like she doesn't look like a beggar. She takes the trouble to wash and all of that. Her spirits are still high. She doesn't look defeated. She looks quite optimistic.
So Cang Tian actually has been carving something and kind of preparing something for the last 3 months in downtime for Kukang, but he has some spares. So he passes Kukang some beads lah. It's like, you know, some rosaries, right? To kind of like to help you along your way, and it's actually something I want to do in downtime to kind of help Kukang with things because of his redemption arc, right? But then for now, Cang Tian also takes another set of these beads and passes it to Suisian, and then like say, would you allow me to help you with some repairs? I think you travel a very far road.
Sure. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't have that much money on me, so you know, of course I look aside, right? I mean, I'm not quite presentable and all that.
I think it's alright. You don't have to worry about that. But next time you have to think about maybe like the world's not always a very nice place, so you got to learn to take care of yourself a little bit so that you can continue doing good for other people.
Oh, well, you know, I don't get a lot of people talking to me along the trip. I mean, all the way from Xiamen, you are the first people I've talked to.
Okay, so since that's the case, then Cang Tian, really utility cleric, cast mending on the shoes, the clothes, this kind of thing.
Wow, steady! Whoa,
Like,
well done.
Really, the wandering priest, you know, like, hey, you got problem, let me help you. Have you heard a good word? Yeah, it's basically missionary concept, right? And basically, Cang Tian says, since you haven't spoken a lot, what would you like to talk about? You may not get a chance to speak again. There's 4 of us here. Why not practice?
She laughs and says, "Well, I mean, I actually don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going up to Luoyang, you know,
Okay.
and I'm trying to send these corpses all the way up. I mean, I actually don't know what to say. I mean, this is the first time I've had such a long conversation in such a long time. I could tell you the stories of these gentlemen if you like.
Sure. Why not?
Uh,
This one. Then
okay.
I point at like a hole in the ground.
she pulls out. It says, "Oh, this one. This one is he's a scholar of some sort, and he was traveling down south to. That doesn't make sense."
long
She
has
scratches
he
her
been
head. She says, "Well, normally people would travel from Xiamen to Luoyang in order to take the
Exams.
the exams, but he seems to have traveled the other way around. But his family is listed in Luoyang, so
Could I take a look at that? And
sure." She passes you she passes you the record.
Amu looks over Cang Tian's shoulder, being very intrigued by family. Yeah.
So she has a couple of papers, right? And the papers are so it's a booklet, but what she's done is that she has kind of sewn together a couple of pages together, and you see a couple of things, right? You see the imperial form, you see the travel papers, you also see the coroner's report, and you're familiar with all three because of your particular background, right, Cang Tian?
Wait. Let me get this straight. There are 6 corpses, all of which are involved in Luoyang in some way or other.
Yep.
So if we were to borrow these, we would technically have identities in Luoyang.
You would.
See, I don't need to turn you into a Jianghu rogue. You are already a Jianghu. See, I tell you, criminals disguise themselves as undead all the time.
Yeah, lor, I mean, you wanna do identity theft, this would be a perfect time, no?
Is there any reason why we must resort to this deception?
No, not at all. Not at all.
There's no reason, he just wants to. He feels like it. Because he's a Jianghu rogue, he has to be true to himself.
Yeah, actually, about our downtime, 3 months, I think I've spoken to Amu briefly about like, Lady Mo seems to think that maybe the Imperial Brocade Guard aren't actually hunting you. I think like Cang Tian will actually said that to Amu during the 3 months.
Yeah, because Amu was actually a bit concerned about his identity being exposed, especially closer to Luoyang.
Sure.
Well, how old does this papers look? Like
so the last Imperial exam was almost the last Imperial exam would have not have been carried out in Luoyang. It would have been carried out in Southern Song. Sorry, I can't remember which city it is.
Teluk Langgar.
No.
Sorry, it says south, so I'll do it.
Linnan. It would have been carried out in Linnan.
Oh, Yunnan, what, southwest?
No, not Yunnan. Linnan.
Oh,
Linnan.
Yeah, Linnan.
Linnan is quite salty.
Yeah, it's quite salty, and there's actually no reason why this guy would have been going up to or going to Luoyang from Luoyang to Xiamen for any sort of exam.
In other words, it's suspicious.
Yeah, it's suspicious, but the papers look in order.
And what was the cause of death from the mortuary?
That's a very good exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
You know, coroner. You know, CSI in this particular day and age not very accurate, right?
What about so all 6 is exhaustion? Or...
No, this guy. Only this guy. You've only seen so far this guy.
Okay.
The papers for this guy.
Calligraphy kind of things, like my calligraphy proficiency to sort of like an investigation to figure out whether like the process was it like was there anything omitted, was there anything cooked afterwards?
Sometime observing Sui Xian, all this while Cang Tian is talking to her, I'm trying to because he had picked up some tricks from him and him being an investigator and all, right? The whole,
you picked up something from him. Well done.
The whole breathing, whether the person is lying, pupils dilating, and all that kind of stuff.
Make a roll. Make an investigation roll. Make an investigation roll.
I want to know whether she's lying to us.
Insight roll. Insight check.
I crit with 24.
Wow,
Okay.
You total concentration breathing.
Okay.
My hits are actually not bad.
Okay. Shui Xian is incredibly earnest. So far, nothing she said to you is a lie. What you see is just pretty much what you get. There is a sense, however, that she's hiding something, and she's not hiding it because that she's intending to lie to you. She's hiding it because she's insecure. Like, she doesn't want people to know that she's actually less experienced than she's letting on.
Oh, so I can tell that lah.
Yeah, you crit what?
Yeah, okay.
So like I'm checking the paperwork, right, and kind of like asking Yifan to come over, and we both take a look.
Yeah, Yifan, can you come over? Lend me your superior intelligence.
It's a 黑白两道. Everyone come over and look at the paperwork.
I look at Sui Xian and I asked her very pointedly in her face, pass you these papers.
These are just records that I managed to accumulate from the local magistrate's office. I'm not a bureaucrat. I know some words. I just tried to piece what I can together.
Your papers seem a bit fishy. I'm
I-
quite certain it's not you, but I'm questioning the person who passed them to you.
Nobody passed them to me. I assembled them from the records that I could find.
So you volunteered? I mean, I don't mean to ask. I'm not interrogating you, but these papers, they seem like they wouldn't be released to just anyone who's not a bailiff. Do you volunteer?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Look at Cang Tian.
I just thought that these corpses were very poor thing.
Yeah, they are quite poor things. Yeah. Then I look at
Cang
Yifan.
Tian and
So
someone might be trying to
I
sabotage
was
the
trying to
career.
get them to get to their final resting place, and they've been in the mortuary for such a long time, and nobody was claiming them, and I had to do something.
Sorry. Amu, you said something to me just now, right?
Yeah, I say, what if someone's trying to sabotage a career?
Well, then Cang Tian basically looks at, especially at Yifan, and says, you know that dream that we had of the fire god? It's like, I do remember a southern coast, and the way that heaven and earth tends to do this kind of stupid causality stuff is that, it's probably just coming together because we are connected as well. Then I think something about these corpses might be, yes, it's true that people may be setting her up, setting us up, setting people up. But if case we're forgotten, there's supposed to be a master. I whisper this more softly. Supposed to be a master of necromantic techniques among the ministers in Loyang, isn't there?
There is. There has to be in this kind of world.
Yeah. Then so I say,
We can't hear Richard for some reason.
then, well, we can just ask her. Then I say, Susian, I know that you're just trying to do good here, but it's kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah, it is, admittedly. I mean, the problem with these corpses is that they died under mysterious circumstances, and
They still
I
have-
don't know if you can sense it, but I certainly can. All of them carry a level of resentment that I've not experienced. And if I don't bring them to their homeland, I'm worried that they are going to become even more powerful junction than they are now.
Yeah. Okay. Then I look at the rest of the group. It's like I don't feel safe letting. Then I say it more quietly. Letting a child, letting a young person, letting a youth run about with a
Yep,
group.
you realize that she actually looks pretty young.
Yeah, because she speaks like a child, so like Cang Tian just automatically said child without even thinking about it.
Yeah,
She treats him deferentially like how she would treat a senior. Basically.
correct,
So he
exactly.
automatically moves
Look
in.
at Susian
Body
and
language is all like
this-
she.
Is this your first job? You
Yeah,
can be honest with us.
yeah, it is. I mean, my master says I have some talent, right? And I managed to get all of them going,
Who
and
is your master?
oh,
Ma Xiaoling. Ma Xiaoling. Ma Xiaoling.
it's Master Ma.
Yay!
Yay! Tribute to Gordon Wong. Yay!
Master Ma from?
He doesn't have a home, but he's from Mount Miao, Mount Mao, Maoshan. E?
I look at Cang Tian.
Hmm?
So in no way related to the official that we are speaking of, right?
Well, I have no idea, but what I do know is that if this prodigy was to go on, there's only three things that can happen. One, we managed to prevent the corpses from breaking free today and gave them a room for the night. She has no real world skills, so she can't communicate with Coco and other
Is she an
people.
adventurer?
I think she's more like a, what's that phrase that I take out the dictionary? She's an intern who decided to go out and handle look at the business Chinese book, a project. Yeah, so she's an intern who decided to become a project manager. I think it's not going to go well.
This is how RFPs are tendered, right? You send the interns, right? And then they will delete a line, and then the VLOOKUP doesn't work, and then the tender bid gets weak.
Cannot. Now I actually work to send people on internships. And like, cannot. That is cannot.
A quote from Android Netrunner: "Interns, the only labor cheaper than clones."
Okay, so I say like
No, but this one is Cao Ka, you know. This guy is the Xiao On one is the this is good on the job training. I have to go and do it. No, this is not right. I have to take it upon myself to go and do it. This is the confirm the in uni is the A+ student the Xiao On one
But I think this one can also kind of burn out very easily.
very easily.
So since we're on the where are we heading to? Which city are we heading to? That you want to go to Luoyang?
Luoyang, you're going to Luoyang.
Luoyang, but she's coming from Luoyang.
No, she's going to Luoyang. She's coming from Xiamen,
Luoyang. Okay.
south to
Since
north.
it's en route, perhaps we can, like, you know, I think it's a bit messy for us to have to look after 6 corpses, but I really don't want 6 corpses to be running about in the countryside.
I don't think we have a choice here.
No, you totally have a choice here. You can leave it to the intern to submit, and then you know the single line of the Excel file goes up, the VLOOKUP screws up, and then the tender bit breaks free lah. Can one? It's okay, totally fine. It's
Then
all
because we don't ever hire necromancers after this, right? 10 years later, right, the Fulu, the code is still written by we're still using the legacy code from 10 years ago with the necromancers.
it's like, walao, the update it's all spaghetti. It's all spaghetti fulu. How can? That's why they all look.
Over here in the Fulu.
That's why it's also curly. I cannot. There are no coding. There are no developer notes down here. What the hell?
I need to teach her persuasion of performance so that she can console the date, so she can activate console mode when she's doing the necromantic coding.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Richard just lost it.
You can't hear Richard, by the way. He's...
Hey Rich, I can't hear you at all. No, I think he's just coddling away quietly. Hey Rich, I can't hear you. Tabole.
That sounds like a Middle Eastern dish, tabole. Tabole,
Rich?
right?
Rich, I can't hear you. Can you please check your volume, please?
Is your mic turned off for some reason?
No, I think it's because. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Yeah, because the default is Discord is on default, and default is default. So I have multiple mics.
Okay. I'm gonna stop being dumb here for a time being because I just realized that my face is very saw.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I believe that we should accompany Sui Xian along the way. After all, we do not want Gogo to come back and bite us.
That's true.
It's true. You haven't told your revelation about who Coco is to the rest of them yet, you know.
No, I'm not going to tell them.
Okay lor. So Shui Xian is sitting kind of with her legs tucked in, like hugging her legs, right?
How old is she?
Estimated?
Human, right?
No, Dampier.
Damn here.
As in, the half is human.
You can't tell.
Oh, okay.
You can only see the obvious fact that half her face is ashen, the other half is so you can't see anything. You got dark vision or dark vision?
No.
No human right? Dark vision, no dark vision right? Okay.
I was like,
Got dark vision also cannot see. This she has it looks For all intents and purposes, humanish lah.
Humanoid-ish.
Yeah,
So
humanoid-ish,
what
yeah.
elf?
16, 17.
I'm sorry?
She's 16, 17.
Try 14.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Don't forget
Yeah.
though, this is China. This is ancient China.
Yeah.
14, you're an adult.
Yep.
Can go have
You
kids.
s-
already.
You look at the other two, the three kids. They start practicing martial arts at 3 years
2
old.
and 3.
Yeah. So
Hey, that's
14.
because you need to field a solid Olympic team. Right?
It's like China. I mean, you start at 2 years old. Otherwise, how can you be gymnast? How?
How can you catch up?
Yeah. You must get A's all the way from the point you're 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Sorry, 2 years
2
old.
years. Anyway, that's what I suggest to all of you. We should accompany this since we're headed to the same direction.
And Sri Sen says, I really appreciate the help and thank you, brothers for looking out for me. But I really don't want to be a burden to all of you. I can do this. I can.
Well,
We know you can, and actually we're here to help you write a report. So you better do your best. We'll accompany you, and then I take out my calligraphy scroll. And then you do your best. Then I will give this as a referral letter back to your master, so your master can reward you properly,
Oh,
and recognize you. Isn't that good?
make me a bullshit check.
Haha.
Make a persuasion roll.
For my Sunday, for my bullshitting. I roll cooperatives. Okay.
Cooperatives. Hey, you and your evaluation reports, your one shot also got evaluation report. Now also got evaluation report. Last kid.
Okay. Power of bullshitist. 7 plus 3, 10.
Shitful.
Let me make a roll.
Come on, have no people skills, be gullible.
Hey, you damn bad, no, you. Really, damn bad, no.
To do good, we must do bad. Isn't that my whole point of my character after I got possessed by Wen's character?
You're now a composite of yourself and Wen. Hey, you know what? I don't need to roll on D&D Beyond. I have Tong Tong Tong!
OP.
Talespire.
Talespire. She looks kind of
Yeah, I look at the arrest for like, hey, please help, please help. Come. True, right?
Yeah, it is no bother. That we do not doubt your ability as a necromancer. It's just that we are heading towards the same direction, and in this pugilist world, we should help one another, should we not?
And besides, there's too much Yangtze in this group as it is.
I suppose. I mean, you guys helped out with the you guys did help out with the corpses, so I am thankful to you, and but it also means that we won't be going to any of the towns or any of the things, and it would be a deeply uncomfortable trip. Are you sure you're alright with it?
I look around and go, we can always live out with the nature. After all, we were all born naked. Is it not?
I think what you mean to say is after all, Kukang has joined the party, so someone has survivor, is it?
I hope so. I hope Kukang has
Hey,
survival.
Kukang, do you really have survival?
I do.
Oh, well done. So it's like, it's like, okay lah, one party member have already, we all have, we are covered, we're okay one, no problem.
Point out that Amu has +4 survival, okay?
Okay. But you never volunteered to help us. Basket.
Okay, so she says, alright, okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing, right? I'll be heading along the route, the back roads. I know some of them, so maybe from tomorrow onwards I'll take the lead and you guys can follow. And if something happens, maybe try not to damage the corpses too badly, I guess.
I look towards Amu. He's good at catching corpses.
I'm also concerned about the corpses damaging us too badly, but that's something else.
I have something for that. Wait. So if you get bitten, she pulls out a pouch, right?
Glutinous rice.
Yeah, exactly, glutinous rice. She pulls out a pouch of glutinous rice, right? Grind this down and apply it to your wound, and you won't turn into a zombie.
That's very useful, That's very important to know.
That's very reassuring indeed.
Yes. In fact, actually, since she has provided that knowledge, I will produce my mortar and pestle and start grinding them down now.
Okay, sure.
Because it's in my herbalism kit.
Okay, that's fine. And with that, we will close the scene and we'll move on to the next one, which is basically after a few days of travel.
Traveling montage.
Yep.
Point.
One bulk of glutinous rice. I know. So Shao, just pointing out, right? I know that this is what you wrote, right? And there are certain things that I took from yours, and there are certain things that I didn't.
Yeah. It's like every different canon is alright one. It's like everything must jump and make.
Yeah, because but you know what the thing about it is, the actual 5E canon 僵尸 is like one kind of bloody lame lore. Seriously, I'm so sorry.
Is it? I never saw it. It's in the new Curse of Strahd, is it?
Yeah, it's in Curse of Strahd, and it's like there is no reference. They're like, their revulsion to religious objects. There's no reference to like what is considered a religious object to a 僵尸.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is my face lor. Throughout the next few days, you travel the back roads, you travel the trails, and all followed by the 僵尸 going.
Yeah, that's going to take some getting used to.
I made a whole bunch of hop along jokes along the way.
Make a whole bunch of what songs?
Hop along jokes. Hop along now.
Yeah. Then I tell Amu, for this kind of things you require a leap of faith that look very meaningful to him.
Yeah, that's what conversation for the next day will be like.
Next 3 days will be like that.
I'm going to actually one of the days in the travel talk to Amu about the fact of preparing for a fight.
I say just jumping conclusions.
But I'm not jumping into conclusions because
Hey, stop it lah, yo.
I am Amu, I understand that you have the ability to provide blessing to as well as heal.
Only rudimentarily, yes.
How dare you take up his smite slots? How dare you?
No, I'm not taking out his mic slots. On contrary, I'm asking him to cast it into the ring of spell storing so that I don't take up his mic slots.
Oh, right, that's true. I put a blessing there, Lord.
Are you guys going ahead or behind the zombies?
I'm asking you to cast a level 2 bless and level 1 cure light wounds.
Yeah, I'll do it before we sleep every night. So I will give a level 2.
You only need to do it once. You only need to do it once.
Why do we want bless a level 2?
Because you can bless at level 2 can target 4 people.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Okay.
Guys, today the entire game is us buffing the 僵尸 to fight for us, and we all provide advantage to the 僵尸. Okay, this is guys.
No, I'm future proofing our tactics.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a level 2 bless and a level 1.
A ghost type Pokemon trainers ready, guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
You need healing word instead.
Paladins don't have access to healing word, I think.
I have because I
Oh,
took
you
one
have,
spell.
right.
He has cleric.
Yeah, now he's
Actually-
cleric. He's a spellcaster already. Don't pray.
No, it's okay. I think Cure Light Wounds is fine because
I'll continue.
because I can reach almost any part of the battlefield.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know I got. Do you know I got lesser restoration already?
Yeah, I think you should have.
So I can cure
No,
disease.
you don't. You have a level 2 smite slot.
Okay, very good.
You're being tempted to not smite with. How can?
Yeah lor, like what kind of substandard paladin are you to use your healing for actual healing?
I might drop Thunderous Smite then, just to get.
No, there's only
Just the
two
rest.
types of spells. Fuel for smite and smite smells. That's it. Okay,
I think this one is.
I switch my prepare spells around. Yeah.
sure.
My prepared spells are already prepared.
Oh, do you know that Zone of Truth is auto prepared for me? That's so cool.
Why?
I don't know. It's always prepared. It's a paladin thing.
Okay,
Is it the Oath of Crown thing or?
I think it might be over.
sky is getting dark again, and you see, just as you are about, Tracian says, just as you are about to reach, she says, "Hey, that I know that there's a there's an old ruined inn up ahead," and sure enough, you see it.
Oh man, Ruin Inns and vampires. Okay.
I know.
All the references, all of them, no exception. There's a-
Does
Is
it
it
have an
called?
outhouse?
I'm sorry, what?
Does it have an outhouse?
No, but I'm probably going to build one next week now that you mention it.
It's another important trope.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. Then yes.
I need to say something.
Yes.
We need to say 妖气很重.
重
Someone needs to say it.
What? Yao what?
You Amu.
妖气
Yeah,
很重
as soon as we get closer and he describes that part, Armu will do the mandatory 妖气很重.
How close are you getting to the place before you do it?
Automatically, Amu's ears will start ringing, right? Because he's now become like Fahai.
You, as you're coming close to the inn, right? And by the way, Sweden, yes, I was building. I haven't been spending as much time building because I have a lot of old maps to do it. So what I did was adapt this particular map. But what I did was this used to be an inn, and I used my delete function to really just destroy the hell out of it. Amu, are you getting closer?
Yes, I am. I'll be in front lah.
Okay. You
Preferably, I think Armu would prefer if, I mean, instead of him going to the front all the time now, it's like, Wudang just walks in, like, together.
can. So you and Kukang head up, basically, and the zombies are still taking their own sweet time hopping along, right?
Yeah.
You reach here. You use your divine sight.
Yup.
妖气很重. Not from the inn.
Then,
It's from behind the inn.
Oh.
there's a deeply disturbing supernatural presence coming from behind the inn.
I believe we should investigate.
As you say that, Armu is already walking.
Let me try something first as well. And like Richard, do you want me to do the detect magic duties now on, because I can ritual cast that already, so you can spend the downtime doing other things already.
No, it doesn't matter because I can ritual cast.
You ritual cast detect magic, I ritual cast detect poison.
Yeah, I think that's better because your detect. Sorry, just as a point of optimization, your detect magic pairs better with your knowledge arcana.
Actually, I have 2 questions, Case.
Yes,
Am I immune to zombie disease?
yes, you are.
Does Lesser Resto deal with zombie disease?
Yes, it does.
Does
Okay.
it creates like glutinous rice that
It creates a layer of it turns you into a lomai guy for a while. So the Yao Qi is not coming from the inn. It's coming from this tree.
Oh no. You guys have made Miaoling one glutinous rice.
Mochi snake flies. Get some abaling. Abaling is the best.
It's coming from this tree.
Okay.
But right now it feels as if it is suppressed and slumbering.
Okay. I'm going to cast detect magic and do arcana to kind of like give you a 8 roll for you, Richard.
Sure, no problems.
Oh my god, the guidance abuse has started.
I am going to cast detect magic as a ritual.
See, I spent 5 levels getting to this point where I can meaningfully help the investigation by casting detect magic to help you already. Okay.
Cast means no need to prepare, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Ritual cast means no need to prepare, right?
10 minutes.
Need to prepare, no need to prepare, no need to expand.
Okay.
10 minutes, zombies will start moving up ahead.
Actually, different for wizard because I don't need to prepare. I just need it in my spell book, which is different from, which is different for clerics.
Yeah, so they
cleric, I
can
think actually need to have it prepared.
Yeah.
Yes,
so it doesn't
correct.
cost a slot. Yeah.
Yes, correct. It just doesn't cost a slot. So I would suggest that Cang Tian just prepares detect poison instead.
I have both.
Oh, okay.
Because detect magic, I'm arcana domain because the esoteric Buddhist peacock king shit. So it's like,
What is this? What is this nonsense?
please, okay, I'm a drunken arcanist monk. No one get in my way.
Drunken Arcanist manga. Actually, you know, that totally sounds very wuxia. By all means.
I'm trying to make as long a character as possible, you see.
Well, you know, or Jiang Yushen for that matter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Liang Yushen. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
as we head towards the tree.
You are heading towards the tree. Okay. Are you casting detect magic?
Yes.
As you head towards the tree, along the path that you're make me a knowledge arcana roll.
Sure.
Okay.
Kugang, you sense make me a survival roll while you're here. Sorry.
Actually, can I also ritual cast something while he's doing the...
No, you may not because you can't ritual cast.
Ritual spellcasting only available to certain.
I see.
classes.
Only
Soft casters,
only to full degree holders.
I
Diploma students, no.
Also, 我讲
Cang Tian, do you want to roll your arcana?
Survival roll is 17.
I'm using my basically I'm doing cross analysis. I do detect poison then arcana to kind of like is there zombie disease whatever that kind of stuff to give him another layer. We're playing pandemic now, right?
Yeah, we're playing pandemic.
Yeah, it's like no. This is zombie COVID. No. Did this place used to be KTV? Was it an F&B outlet?
Okay,
I'm just asking whether I have advantage. That's
and
all.
more importantly, I also give you another thing that's very important for you, Yifan. I give you this magic ritual called guidance. You know
Oh
now
yeah,
guidance technology.
guidance.
Please get a D4 as well. So I roll my arcana. Okay, I got 12.
Okay,
and
which
guidance as well.
Okay,
This is
so
the advantage
you have
roll.
advantage plus a D4.
oh this suck.
Please don't it up.
The roll is 18.
Okay? You recognize this because you've seen a variation of this.
Mm-hmm.
All the way back in the 10,000 Swords Manor.
Aiyo, that place.
Okay.
There is a ritual of binding on this tree. Strong abjuration magic on this tree.
Okay. And is the ritual holding out?
So far, yes. However, you do not know what the conditions are for the binding. You do not know how far out it extends. You know it is there.
Right.
You know it's holding whatever the hell it is in that tree back.
Okay.
Is it a banana tree?
Like a banana tree.
Banangalan, da, 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 da. Banangalan, da, 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 da.
Okay, I turn towards Cang Tian and Amu and Wudang, and I say, this tree has been bound here for a very long time. I do not know what the conditions are for its binding and how far it extends out. I will assume that it might cover the inn, and I would suggest that we camp out further out just in case.
Amu takes out his finger. He starts doing the finger counting thing. And he says, "Oh, yep. 3 months before we have another supernatural encounter, not 2 hours. We have absolutely no interest in. Just about right. Yes.
Well, then after that, it will be a supernatural encounter once every day. So I think we have a lot saved up. We have 90 days worth of saved up.
And just to finish off the information laws, the law drops, right? Wudang, there's something about this particular place, right? You hear sounds of animals in the ambient background, right? You hear frogs chirping, you hear insects buzzing and all of those things, right?
Frogs chirping.
Well, frogs croaking, sorry, frogs croaking, birds chirping, and also it's like it would have been really cool if like frogs chirping, birds buzzing, and insects croaking. Like something's very wrong with this place.
I guess that would have been indication number 1 that this is spooky, scary, supernatural place.
Okay, but as you're getting closer to the tree, the sounds
look at the girl.
the sounds seem to dampen.
I look at the girl.
She's
Jen,
in.
right?
Shrizen is
And
here.
I say, have you been here before?
No.
So you don't know any stories or such about this place?
All I know is that this place used to be called the something tree inn. I don't know.
Is something happen to be like cursed?
No, not at all. I mean,
Demon Tree Inn.
it's all I know is that the inn used to be called Under the Banyan Tree. For those of you who don't know what that translates to in Chinese, it means 榕树下.
Is that your next thing?
It can be, but I haven't practiced it.
It's like I mean, like in the far lands of the west where I come from, people tend to take a lot of dairy products like yogurt. I heard of a famous tree spirit yogurt monster called the Lao Lao. Okay, sorry. I think that was deeply painful for everyone.
Oh gosh.
We Yao Yao.
You should go and take a look at the custom monsters and see what I named that particular tree spirit. And that's all I'm gonna say.
一身老妖.
Customary Lao Lao reference.
Yes, customary Lao Lao reference, please.
I am not surprised because the first thing when you mentioned tree, and I would have just thought, okay, the 千年树妖, don't know what.
Of course,
Lao Lao.
all the references, all of them.
I don't think even Lao Lao is 千年. I think he's 万年.
千年, yeah.
10,000 years already, right?
This is from this is also another 80s, and it's not a zombie movie. It's actually a Chinese ghost story starring a very closeted but very talented actor, and basically the teenage crush of every single Chinese speaking and Cantonese speaking teenager at that time.
Okay.
Good
So
old Joey Wong.
Good old Joey Wong, yes.
yes, I would suggest that we stay out in the open, away from the tree.
Okay.
And I look at
I start muttering under my breath, talking about having to deal with 6 drop corpses that might turn on us at any time, and then having to deal with a demon. Nice.
Nice.
I look at I turn towards Amu and Cang Tian. Either of you is able to create a formation of protection from evil.
Aha! I do with my one level. I'm glad you asked.
I calculate it. I should him on a list how it can be possibly used as a smite slot.
Because actually that was what Cang Tian was using for the Fulu, the protection of evil to
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I know that I basically until we get there, then I change to ceremony. But now I think it's protection for evil moment because I don't have 1 hour 10 minutes to do ceremony.
Okay, so are you casting protection from evil?
Who would you like to cast it on? I can.
That's a really good question because it's not 10-foot radius.
And it's a concentration spell. So I think the person with the lowest wisdom charisma saves basically across the board. That'll be easier for them. It's also a bit like cosmological, a tawny issue. Sorry for the tree puns, because if the tree is a demon, then it works. But if the tree is just a demonic tree, but still a tree, that doesn't work because protecting evil doesn't. It's not protection from vegetation.
That's true. That's entirely true. You don't know. You can't tell the difference.
So it's
That was a Western horror reference, right? That was
well, I'm just I'm asking for future reference if we have to fight this tree spirit.
Okay, I think a bless will be very important to help us get some D4s in our favor for any saves and stuff, right?
I think I should I will use the spell that I will use the spell that I have prepared in the sword of the wedding dress.
Yeah, and actually we also need a person who is the restorer here, because let's say, you see, Amu is the one who can spend 5 hit points from lay on hands to remove a condition, right? So
Yes.
that is in case making sure we don't become zombies is the condition. So actually the fail-safe person Amu should be backed up. But Amu has the best wisdom charisma saves because he's a paladin.
things.
And so maybe we're not sure whether that will be necessary on him. Like like basically right now, what about you? What
I don't think you need to worry about me.
Okay. Between
Famous last words,
I think it's going to be between myself or Kugang, and I'm leaning more towards Kugang.
Okay, I think Kukang as well, because protecting evil and good also grants disadvantage to fiends, etc. to attack them, so he can recklessly a bit more recklessly.
Yeah, that's useful.
Don't forget, if it comes to that, I can cast.
Yeah, true. But then it's like, think of the sacrifice. It's one less fight. Like how?
Hello, walao.
Yeah, first no Lo Mai Kai, no Mochi, then now you have no smite. Wow, what a hard day. Okay, alright, so I will cast prot from evil and good on
I will try not to get affected by the spirit.
Okay. So, or do you want me to cast Protect Evil and Good on the zombies instead, so that we don't, so that our zombies can be, remember, it's team buff the zombies again.
Team buff zombies.
By the way, just to point out, if there is an attack, the zombies actually make a fantastically legitimate target.
Yeah, bless the zombies, buff the zombies, haste the zombies. Yeah, but then make sure that it's best if they fight against other demons so they won't become zombies as well. Then it's like ethical zombieism.
I'm thinking that the buff should go to Sui Xian. Because if she doesn't go down, she can control the zombies.
By the way, speaking of Sui Xian, because we are doing a general tropish wuxia thing, Amu has started referring to her as Xiao Mei.
Xiao Mei.
Xiao who?
Xiao Mei.
Oh, Xiao Mei.
Okay,
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very sweet of you.
Yeah, so now does she look happier with her shoes? All right, with everything.
She's quite ganky actually. So she, all throughout the journey, right? She's been doing things like picking flowers. She's doing things like picking flowers. Occasionally, you know, she tries to cook breakfast. And she cooks breakfast just as well as your average 14-year-old first time out in the thing. Like the limit of her ability is instant noodles and fried eggs, you know, that kind of thing. But she's really trying.
Adventurer with no real life skills.
Yeah, exactly like you were a couple of months back.
Yes. Actually, I am going to look around. The theory of whatever that is around the area, whatever that is poisonous will have its cursing around the area. So if there's a tree demon, there should be a cursing around the area as well. I'm going to look for something that might give me some clues.
Yeah, Amu's going to survey the plot. While they're doing all the preparation, I'm going into the inn and I'm doing.
Are you heading out by yourself, Richard? All by yourself?
Sure.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to do the divine sense in the inn itself.
Okay. The inn is clean.
Okay.
Sorry, let me just answer Swedin's email. Yeah. So yeah, what happens when you are
operator currently?
Yeah, so when the one of the things about Jiangshi theory is that they are not exactly zombies, they're not exactly vampires. They're actually kind of a mix between the two. And one of the things that they get is that Jiangshi have a kind of poison as well in their bites and in their veins and all of that, right? And if you're bitten by a Jiangshi, you can turn into a Jiangshi. And one of the real weird pieces of lore that, you know, I don't know whether it's true or whether it's in just movie, but you dig deep enough, right? There's actually stories about how babies delivered of a person that's turning into a Jiangshi actually have some of the abilities of a Jiangshi.
Which is what Sui Xian is lah.
Yeah, pretty much. So yes, Rich, where are you going to go and search for the following Bane theory?
The following Bane theory is generally going to be close to the tree demon itself. So I let the party know that I'm heading towards that direction. And then I head there.
I suggest, you know, I just do an offhand suggest that Kukang might need to go.
So okay, the inn itself is clean, although it's deserted. The which way are you going?
I'm going towards the tree demon.
Is Kukang going along?
Who needs the backup?
I think you back up Bridge better.
Okay.
I'll back up Sui Xian now, then you guys back up the front. How's that?
Amu is surveying the house.
Oh, then I better back. I better stay in the middle to back to kind of like look at both sides. I think.
And check out the matching pipes.
Yeah.
The matching pipes where?
In the house.
I see.
It's just the part where you were like getting ready to buy the house. You're like, oh, looking for defect.
Okay, let me just give you a quick peel down of the house. Okay, so the interior of the house looks pretty messy lah. And the pipes are over there. Right. It looks like it's been a while since anyone has actually lived in it. The place looks overturned, broken into. Some places look shattered. The second floor.
Fighter.
Hmm?
There was a fire.
Well, maybe a fight, maybe kind of a stampede, or maybe running. But there are certainly no bodies in here. And the second floor looks similar, right? The place looks like it's been broken into. It's running in shambles. There are some, if you are a building inspector, this place will give you a bit of the crease because it has probably got some structural issues. But despite all of that, despite the years, it's still standing.
Are there any trapdoors?
You would have to make an investigation roll.
Okay. The D&D Beyond. Yay, roll dice. 16.
Okay, there are no trapdoors, but you do realize something, that the bulk of the destruction is coming from one direction. It's coming from here.
The tree, yeah.
Yeah, from the direction of the tree.
Okay.
So it's like stuff has been shattered. Not quite coming from the direction, but even like, for example, this area here, it looks like it was angled coming from the tree.
Okay.
Okay.
My divine sense doesn't turn up anything, right? No,
Nothing except for the tree. The tree itself.
So it's either a fiend or celestial or...
Yeah.
Never mind.
Fiend, celestial, fey, or
Undead.
undead.
Yes, fail undead. Undead is very likely.
As you're moving closer to the tree, right? Still nothing. Still nothing. You're not getting a sense of... You sense the magic. You sense the tree itself is magical, but nothing as you are getting closer. Nothing trips up. How close do you want to get?
Not very close. I am going to look for it around the surrounding areas for roots, flowers, or I'll try to observe the tree from where I am to see if there's any like parasites or insects that would be attacking the tree.
Make me a knowledge nature roll.
Which I am going to use pure intelligence for.
Okay.
And that's 12.
Okay. No, nothing that you can spot. However, once you get to this portion of the tree, you see in front of you there is a Taoist altar in front of it. The candles are not burning anymore, obviously, but there is fulu, there is offerings, and make me a perception roll.
Sure. Oh, that's suck. 7.
Okay, that's all you see.
Okay.
Actually, Kukang, if you are following him, you can make a roll also.
This has been day, right?
Perception, right?
Perception, then survival.
What time of the day is this?
It's
Perception.
almost evening.
Okay.
Perception is 21, survival is 20.
Nice.
Survival is 20. Okay, two things you realize. Okay, and I'll give you something else random because of Suedin. You notice two things. One, there is what looks like roots overgrowing a corpse here. Bones over here. Right in front of the altar. Second thing you notice because of your survival roll, the root system reaches somewhere about here, and the animals are not going anywhere near that. Beyond that point, you hear creatures wandering around, but beyond this point here, roughly, nothing's going in. Not an insect, not a bird, not a frog, nothing is going in.
It's unsettling.
I was like, what's unsettling? I turned towards Google.
I let him know of the. You feel that?
Yes.
You hear that? The silence.
Yes.
The animals avoid this place.
Mm.
And the corpse, you said, was it Case?
There's there what looks like a white bones of a person that's overgrown with roots.
Yeah, I pointed out to Yifan.
Mm.
The third thing that you notice, because Sweden redeemed some law for you, Rich, you recognize the altar.
Mm-hmm.
It's what is the equivalent of black magic? Evil magic. It's not the binding. This thing is not responsible for the binding, quite the opposite.
Is the summoning of, or even the ritual circle to
Could
summon.
be summoning, could be something to strengthen, could be a sacrifice to call. You can't tell from this distance, but the way the altar is laid out, it looks profane.
Okay. Is there a way to like reduce its strength by?
Would you like to step in?
No, but I was going to, if I could recall of a way to, from my knowledges to see if I could like.
You can't tell from distance. You have to go in, investigate it, and then you'll know the specific way to counter it.
Are you concerned about the tree coming alive and beating you up?
I am very concerned.
Okay, you know what's the good thing about trees that we have advantage over?
What?
That unless they're demonic, soul-eating, cursed trees, which you know this is totally isn't. The amazing thing about trees is that they're rooted to the ground. So what you can do is you can, for example, just to explain, then I clap my hands and then I loosen some earth. So you know, maybe we can stay far away. If you like, we can just uproot this tree and then we can put it back to the temple inspectors that this is totally not a well inspected temple. You know, if you're concerned, maybe we can try that. But in my experience, tree demons that are very sus will basically just get up, pull up their roots, and beat you up anyway. So
Okay.
if you need to try opening the local tree demon from a far distance so that you don't have to go and get a face punch, that could be an option.
Sorry, so Sweden, you've asked a really good question.
Hello, Jonovex.
Hi,
Thanks for
Jono.
following.
Hi, Jonovex. Thanks for the follow. And Sweden, okay, so there are certain. Again, this is movie stuff, right? And I have no idea whether these things are true in real life or not. But there are certain parts of Taoism and Feng Shui that are associated with things like curses, black magic, enchantment, things to take over will of people which are not very pleasant. Again, I'm not sure whether this is kind of intermingling with like local shamanism or local demonology, but it's very prevalent in Hong Kong movies. So I'm thinking that, you know, this is like the local equivalent of shamanism. Yeah.
Or it could be somebody who tried to practice black magic and just got cursed to become a tree spirit.
Could very
don't
well
know.
be. I mean, you don't know what the origin is. You're not getting close enough to do it, and despite all of the encouragement for me to go ahead, right?
Yeah, because we don't want to break the protection, right? Because we don't know what breaks the protection. So,
Yep.
okay, yeah, since we cannot do anything about it, so let's move away from it. I'm going to take Cang Tian's advice and say, let's not interfere and hope that it does not interfere with us.
You go out there and he goes, oh, you know, 井水不犯河水, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, and all of that,
Yeah.
all of the poppy things to go and get out of the way. Poppy, by the way, means please protect us.
Yeah, like going to a foreign land hotel, you knock on the door a few times. Sorry to disturb you.
Yeah, and if you're going weeing in if you really have to wee in the forest, right? You just say, "Hey, please, get out of the way. I'm about to, you know, do stuff here." Shui Xian is just all of you haven't been keeping an eye with Shui Xian, right? But Shui Xian has gone ahead of her zombies, right? And she's looking at the place and she's like, "Oh," and she says to Cang Tian, "We can't stay here for too long. At most one night, but this place is dangerous."
Okay. Let's listen to the nice necromancer.
I agree. I gesture towards the tree. That will be the one that we have to be worried about.
Okay. Are you all sleeping here for the night? I'm assuming it's down here lah, unless you want to like like really far away or something, like nope the hell out of here.
I believe it should be far enough.
Okay.
The inn may not be far enough, but I think from here is fine. I mean, you make sure you have a 20-foot pole to trigger the 10-foot trap, right?
Okay. And just as you're about to settle, just as the sun sets,
Oh, this does not sound good.
The beginnings of all our problems.
just as the sun sets, a figure, a lady that looks very, very familiar to you pops up from between the trees, and she says, "Of all of the fates, it is you! You recognize the Dryad?"
Oh, okay. The dryad that we beat up, right?
Yep. Previously.
Huh?
We
I do remember
we
this.
beat up a dryad in space, is he?
Yes, we did. You weren't around in that episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
And with that, we will autosave. And thanks for the stream. We're gonna cliffhanger it for this one, and next week we may have. I mean, it's not an absolute certainty that you will have a fight.
who is this Dryad?
She,
You were absent that session, Nick.
Oh,
was
remember
the-
our Conan friend.
Valky,
Our Conan friend. was,
oh, the Valky one. Okay,
yeah,
the one that enchanted Valky.
yeah.
I see. Is this a
Uh,
recurring villain meme thing?
No, but one of the things that I always emphasize about Wuxia is that your actions will always have consequences, and the more you think that it's over, the more it is not.
Yeah. Defeating a dryad just makes it
Turn into a tree demon.
yeah, probably turn it into a tree demon.
Okay.
Okay, with that,
That's why aggravated damage exists, guys. It's War of Darkness over.
it's like she's very aggravated. She's very
Yeah, I
very
know.
aggravated.
And she's very damaged. So.
Okay, with that we have to say thank you very much.
Okay.
We will stop.
Thank
Do
you.
we want Rich? Do we have someone that we can rate?
I do not know. Phoenix Iwaki is still streaming, so we could rate him.
Yeah lah, but always we always go in there and then it's like the last 5 minutes of his stream. The one lah, it's okay. It's okay. If we find someone other than Phoenix Iwaki, please.
Okay, we will. I'll need to do some more research.
Okay, Ken, never mind. Then everyone, thank you very much for joining us, and feel free to join us on our Discord channel. Feel free to smash the subscribe and
follow.
follow button, and go check out Shao's version of the Jiangshi, which is very, very different, probably very, very different from mine, but you guys haven't fought it, so you guys wouldn't know. But
I had to Pathfinderism it, so it's like that.
yeah, so but it is a Pathfinder version of the Jiangshi, which I think is infinitely superior to the 5e Curse of Strahd version. You know, I don't care. Nobody's paying me to say this, but you know, I think Shao's version is absolutely superior.
Thank you, thank you.
By the way, I fleshed out my martial arts a little bit on my character sheet. I don't know whether you have access to it.
Drop it onto Discord, okay? And with that, thank you very much. Hope you guys have fun.
Bye.
Bye.